Welcome to a muzzle chat. I don't know why. I'm cracking myself up over here today. Bear with me. Happy Sunday, everyone. Now, this isn't to scare you episode. This is because I love you. I care about you. And I want to arm you with information because ignorance regarding our health and our well being is not the best plan to ensure a better tomorrow and just optimal function. So, with that being said, where do you even begin? Should I just. Let's play this clip right here. The title: Drugs and medications are in your drinking water. That's a fact. That's a fact right here in Arizona and in many states. And I just want to bring. There's so much information out on this, and I'm just like sitting here scratching my head. Why are we accepting this? It's our kids are drinking that, and they're drinking out of the drinking fountains. So you can't control it enough. Like we need to write our state officials. Please, someone do the work. To make it easier for all of us when you write. Someone add a link into the comments, for a quick draft write up, and then people customize the write up. To forward to the state officials, and we should be doing this on all levels, but especially regarding our health. Are you freaking kidding me? Because I travel with my RO water, and the RO does such a good job taking everything out. I even supplement with trace minerals to ensure no deficiencies. But yeah, let's play this clip. Here's some insane findings.
6 pharmaceuticals in our drinking water here. They include ibuprofen, caffeine, monosin, and about 3 or 4 others. In Philadelphia, they had 56 pharmaceuticals or
56.
byproducts. They range everything from epilepsy medication to mental health medicines to
Epilepsy medication, mental
pharmaceuticals that really run the gamut. Here's the bottom line from the Associated Press on the study they did. It was, as you mentioned, a 5-month investigation involving the AP investigative team. 50 major cities in 50 states were
50 major cities.
Looked at, and drugs were found in the water of 24 major cities.
24 major cities. I don't even know if they were looking into the chemicals, because there's also chemicals that have been reported here locally with carcinogenic chemicals and the fluoride and all those negative impacts and psychological impacts.
We're talking 41 million Americans here who drink that water. So what's in the water? Everything from acetaminophen and ibuprofen to mood stabilizers, antibiotics, angina, heart, as well as cholesterol drugs, and even sex hormones. The trouble here, Meek, is that the federal government does not test specifically for pharmaceuticals in the water. And in fact, there is no way to scrub water that is in a treatment plant for pharmaceuticals.
Freaking believable. Unbelievable, folks. Now, right here, this is no joke. I'm not BSing. You could do this yourself. These are very cheap. You can get these TDS meters at Amazon, all sorts of places, really cheap. I don't know. Could be $5, $10, I don't know. But you could do this yourself. And my actual RO system I purchased came with one of these. Since then, I've even purchased one because I want to be able to travel around and have one and show people and have an idea. Now, by no means does this actually indicate what, in fact, specifically is in your water. It's a parts per million tester, and it will just pick up how much dilutions are in the water, but not telling you as to what. But there also is a chart I could pull up here where, let's go over that actually first, and you can look these up. So the TDS parts per million, there's a chart that was established from, I don't know, somewhere. Ideal drinking water from reverse osmosis and microfiltration are 0. That's what's I labeled ideal drinking water. 0 parts per million. 0. And then let's see, carbon filtration or mountain springs or aquifers, acceptable ranges around 50 parts per million. Hard water, around 100. Marginally acceptable is around 200 parts per million. A high TDS water, tap or mineral springs, is 300 to 400. Now, the average tap water range it indicates is from 1 to like 300. Now, I live right here on the border, Mesa Gilbert, Arizona, and it was interesting. I was going around from the garage tap to the kitchen sink to even the front spigot that is in line to my, supply line to this home, and they all ranged the same. I did notice a difference from going from hot to cold, a big spike on the hot, so that goes to show my hot water heater must have some type of polluting factor. I don't know, the heating element or just whatever. That's kind of interesting. Have to look into that. So this is from the tap, so that way the spigot, so it's ruling out any chance of additional pollutions. It's just the supply coming into my house. Now, all you do is turn this device on. It's got some different settings. Right now it's on ppm, parts per million. You just sink it into the water here. Hold. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. I'm going to try to get the camera to pick it up. Yes, your eyes aren't deceiving you if in fact you could see that. 686. This red zone here on this chart is indicating 500. Maximum contamination level, 500. Anything over 500 isn't even like humane to drink. It's not drinkable, deemed drinkable water by the EPA standard, US EPA standard. Or tap, 686. How is this acceptable? Now, I'm not going to lie. When I did the RO system, gosh, years back, it was higher than this. In fact, so the kitchen sink was higher than this. It was closer to 800. And when I turned on the hot water, it increased to mid to high 900, which is almost exceeding this device's levels of even testing. What is in our water? I'm not going to drink that. No wonder my plants are dying. I just had a pine tree out front die. I have a pine tree on its way out in the back, and they're gorgeous, massive, mature trees. I have a blood orange citrus that's dying, almost dead. A regular orange citrus that's dying, almost dead. A grapefruit that's pretty well dead. The lemon tree is pretty resilient, it seems, but it's struggling too, and it's showing disease indicators. Gosh dang. I need to get a filtration for my dogs. 686. But I'm telling you, when I've tested throughout, like it's closer, usually average here, 800. This is insane. This is unacceptable. We need to let our voices be heard. We need answers. We need to know what's in there, and we need to clean this up. Because there will be contaminants. Even you go to a restaurant that's actually doing its part and has a nice filtration system, but their ice cubes aren't. You're going to get hundreds of parts per million just from your freaking ice cubes. We shouldn't. And then what? Your kid's going to have to carry around purified water all day? Because you heard it themselves from the pharmaceuticals, the hormonal, like all these, like, and fluoride and chemicals. No, we can't. We need to get it back to where, as kids, we felt safe drinking from the hose, right? But it isn't safe. I don't care how tough you feel you are, how tough you feel your kids are. These are drugs and chemicals they're ingesting that their body, like, no wonder men think they're freaking women and women think they're men, and all this insane toxic ideology is. Are you freaking kidding me? This is very upsetting. We must do our part. Why are we just sitting back? You think someone else is going to take care of this? It's the water you are drinking. Every one of you. Even in different states. I'm sure in different countries too. We need to band together. We need to forward this to... We should almost treat it like voting, right? Where I try to get more than 10 people, not just tell them, but make sure they get in each election cycle. And I challenge them to do that, each 10 individually, each one of them, that they pay that forward, and challenge them to pay it forward, and so on and so forth. We need to do that with this. We need to send this out to our family members and friends and colleagues and hold them accountable. Like, look, this is what I wrote up to our state officials. You do it too. Like, and hold them to it. Let's get to the bottom of it. This is unacceptable. Right here, EPA's maximum. Do your own quick little research. You could just type in TDS parts per million chart, and you'll pull this right up. Fun stuff. Now, it doesn't end there as far as today's conversation. Let's pull this guy up. Because we wonder all these issues. Like, look around, folks. Use your eyes. Now, I'm with you. I'm just trying to bring information and team up in an effective way to where we could get to the bottom of these issues. This little video here, and this is what's crazy. It hit home and kind of hit hard and alarmed me, because I felt like I could occasionally cheat, maybe with like In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A, because they kind of had different standards, it felt like, compared to your typical any other chain. I still don't know about the In-N-Out side of things. I'm sure there's some question. I got to do my research. I'll admit. I mean, I don't go there often or frequent by any means, but there's a lot of restaurant experience I do take that I haven't done my research on, even though I'm a nut about what I'm bringing home and stocking. So anyway, let this alarm you, hopefully, like it did me, and hopefully fuel you to want to get to the bottom and do your own research here as well, because it's not just the water, folks. You wonder why we're feeling... Should we even jump? Let's switch. We'll come back to this one. Let's switch. Why not? We do what we want. This right here. This is interesting.
People ate more, smoked more, exercised less.
Okay. So, before the 1970s, everyone was hot and healthy. Yeah, listen to this.
Before the 1970s, everyone was hot and healthy. People ate more, smoked more, exercised less, and they effortlessly kept off weight. It was way easier to be healthy. But since then, obesity is up almost 5 times. Something is poisoning us and nobody knows what it is. People are blaming it on carbs, red meat, and butter, but our ancestors ate more of all of those things. Our grandparents' generation ate 100 grams of sugar a day, 4 times more butter, loads of refined grains, bread, and eggs. Yet
Back then, only 1% of America was obese
1%.
versus 40% today.
40%.
Something is poisoning our metabolism,
100%.
and it's not real food.
Boom. Gosh dang. I see that TikTok image and I'm like, I have more homework to do. Supposedly, we need to start advertising on there too. Got to do our part in blowing this up to have maximum impact. Any proficient TikTokers out there? TikTokers. Oh my gosh. Please reach out to me on muzzlechat@gmail.com. I need your help. Pretty please. I need your help. Okay. Let's dive into this one.
And I was looking at the line.
You know what? Gosh, yeah, I forget he goes into the story. And I've sat there and watched Starbucks lines and fast food lines right side out of the gym. Like there's a Taco Bell and it's just constant. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Sure, you're filling your belly, but that's not nutritional.
Sitting one day, drinking some coffee, and I was looking at the line at Chick-fil-A. 3 lines starting at 10:30 in the morning, and I stayed there for an hour. It never let up. I said, ain't no way in hell that a chicken sandwich tastes that good. So I said, let me see. I wonder what they're putting in it. And I started doing the research right at the time.
Good for you.
That you remember, in the hood, there was this argument, Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A, and everybody was going back and forth, and you seen people at Popeyes, man got shot. The man shot somebody because they didn't have no more chicken sandwiches left. I mean, I said, this ain't no regular chicken sandwiches. So I went and the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Come to find out, they have over 40 ingredients in the Popeyes chicken sandwich. 32 of them were man-made chemicals. And I said, well, let's see what Chick-fil-A has. Over 50 chemicals in the chicken sandwich. Over 40 of them were man-made chemicals. I said, so hell, this is a dope sandwich. So they really are flipping birds over there.
Let's do a squirrel. Because here I was looking at the tap water and then my RO system, which I put in these BPA-free bottles. And then I also have a stainless canteen to refill these as I go about my day. I supply my own water all day, every day. And I carry these in restaurants. I carry this anywhere. And if they got a problem with that, I'm sorry, you don't have my business. And it's at 25 parts per million. Now, there's a lot of good ones. I think mine's a 5, 6, or 7 stage, somewhere around there, 7 stage RO system. Get them for like a couple $100. Look into the reviews. Man, that'd be cool. Maybe we could get a discounted something. Well, I'll try to look into that for you folks. And futuristically, just stay tuned. Maybe we'll have some discounts for you. But 25 parts per million. Yeah, and the plastic water bottles is not a good replacement. It's just not. You'll be absorbing BPAs through that. So that feels good. I was like, man, should I even drink this after that experience? Sorry, I digress. Let's dive back into this. I love what this gentleman's saying. Getting doped up. It's true. I'll jump it back here a bit. Sorry, folks.
So they really are flipping birds over there.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in the world to justify. So whenever I seen that, I said it in a message, and someone took the clip of it and then went on the website of Chick-fil-A, had it broke down where they were.
To recap, Chick-fil-A, the research he's done used for chicken sandwiches and found they have 50 different drugs in it. 50 different drugs in a chicken freaking sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And now he has communication and
Clicking on it, showing all of the ingredients and these chemicals that were in it. Do you know the next day Chick-fil-A took that down off their website? So now you can't find the ingredients to the Chick-fil-A sandwich or the Popeyes chicken sandwich because they don't want you to know that they're drugging you.
Wow.
They're doping you. That they have you wanting the food not for nutritional value, but because you become addicted by the MSG and the other chemicals that they've inserted in that also are immune. I was sitting.
My hat is off to you, sir. This is what we need, folks. Just regular American citizens, genuinely curious, sitting back, using their two eyes, their two ears, their own discernment, doing a bit of research, then posting that. And what, lo and behold, what happens? Chick-fil-A pulls that information down. They don't want it. Common knowledge. Now that's disappointing to me because I felt like that was one of my acceptable cheats. Never again. I got to vow that. Never again until I do my due diligence and ensure this is just what you get is what you get. The chicken and the ingredient list for that chicken's chicken. That's it. Buns and whatever ingredient it made to make those buns. The cheese, just the cheese, right? That's the ingredient. So, or however you freaking make cheese with what? No, I was just thinking of butter. Whatever. I'm feeling special now. Anyway, so yeah, Chick-fil-A. Oh boy, what's going on? So there's that. That's a nice kindness one. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to sound the alarm, obviously, on my goodness. Because I love you, I care about you, and I want you healthy. We need you healthy. We need you, your best self and functioning, especially going into this crazy year. We need that. Take this serious. If you're not feeling like you can fly, like you're so amped up in life, you feel lethargic or headaches or putting on weight and just gross, whatever, like, could maybe taking some of these steps, cutting out, like, it's worth doing your research and it's worth cutting that out. The reality of it is, people, gosh, we're a lazy culture. It's like, oh, but even the Walmart or what, it's closer than the freaking farmer's market. It's like, we've never had it easier to go to the farmer's market ever than right now. You got vehicles that dang near self-drive themselves. You could probably even order from those places like Order Eats or whatever, Grubhub or whatever they are. Like, it's never been more convenient. Oh, but who can afford that? It's like, what? Guarantee you it's a lot cheaper than futuristic medical and all the pharmaceuticals your doctor's going to try to pump you full of that leads to more pharmaceuticals all the way to the grave. It's just clear. I want us all to have common sense, right? With all these things. So with that being said, the world around us now is like, what? This can't. There is intention behind all of this. Why is men's testosterone tanking and just all these things? It's like, look at every angle. What's happening around this freaking world. Now, let's dive into this one. This was at... It was a secret room where they're illegally, like, they're holding illegal aliens, just the invaders, the Atlanta airport. This area is guarded by even military personnel. Now, they probably really don't know, but let's hear this encounter I'll probably put it on double speed. It's 2 minutes. We'll speed it up, but it's pretty wild. He had to hold it by his side and get this recording and had to play cool enough to get what he got. What the frick is happening with our country? There's one of the military in front of this door, and this door's self-locking. They're like letting these invaders, they had to let them in from the inside. It's happening all over, folks.
Yeah. Transporting anybody anywhere? Yeah, we're all getting them placed to where they need to be. Okay, where they need to be? All over the place. Where are they coming from? As in, like, country of origin, stuff like that? Also all over the place. All over the place? Yeah. You know when they come to the U.S.? Like, can I ask you why you asked me this question? Yeah. The senator from Northwest Georgia. Yeah. And not a big fan of human trafficking. Just want to make sure everything's above board here. Yeah, so these are just recently documented travelers getting released from ICE, getting to where they need to be. So you're for the company of volunteers. Yeah. Team Liberty.
Now, my hat's off to this gentleman recording because this is a very nerve-wracking thing to do. It's very tough for anyone that would want to, say this, do this. It's like, my hat's off to him. I had nerves the other day when I was at the pharmacy, CVS. I had to get a script for a freaking nebulizer. We're adding nebulizing and certain things for this Lyme protocol. They didn't have what I needed, but their electric sign out front was still advertising for the jab. Gosh dang. That means if I dive into that, we got to edit even for the whole YouTube. We've touched on it enough that we'll dive into more of those specifics on the dangers there, the bio warfare. But anyway, but I challenged myself to record and have a conversation and ask why you're still advertising. Like, are you aware of Nuremberg? Are you aware of potentially being on the wrong side as to crimes against humanity, as to the actual impacts and effects and stats that are out regarding this? Like, why are you guys still advertising this? Like, all of this stock should be incinerated yesterday. Why is it still a thing? And for those that don't know, it's like, my gosh, like I question whether if there's genuinely really even hope for you, because the information's out. You can go to certain reports, look into information, because there's a lot you don't know. Gosh, it might seem harsh, but it's just the truth of the reality of the situation. But yeah, let's continue. My hat's off to you, sir.
Yeah. Is that a non-government organization? What is that? Yeah. So you receive. How'd you get the job? I'm a volunteer. I mean, there's people that they get dropped off here from ICE detention with no help, so we just, All right. Yeah. Sounds good, man. Care if we, care if I come in? Just take a little closer look. I mean, you can stand right there. I don't know you very well either. So just let me.
You don't know anyone that's in that room, dude.
Actually, you cannot get a video. No. You cannot get a video.
No, you're not allowed.
You're not allowed. You're done.
No, you're not. And they got all up in his face. No, you're done. Unbelievable. That says one thing, folks. They're not up to any good. No good. And they're trying to withhold this information and hide this information from you 110%. It's clear. I got 2 eyes. You do too. 2 ears. It's so clear. What the frick is going on?
Born.
Yeah, I see what
This is awesome.
You can change.
I love this guy. I love this guy. Once again, how can these... I know we're just kind of... This might even be for entertainment purposes here, but start connecting the dots. It helps, right? Because all of this helps give you the big picture to essentially the propaganda, the intentional outcomes to all this stuff, because they want us divided. They don't want us really looking at each other as family, friends, unifying. So there's been all this tactic, and anyway, it's been very effective, because here's some very commonsensical questions, and it really blows up a lot of these people's stances, because there's zero foundation to this delusional ideology.
If you could change your gender, can you change your race?
No,
Why?
because that's just how you're born.
Isn't your gender how you're also just born?
Yeah, I see where you're getting with.
No, you can't change your race. Race is your roots, where you were born with from, ages ago. So I think
Isn't your gender what you're born with too?
that's true, but I think it's a different,
Gotcha.
If you
Gotcha.
could change your gender,
Oh
can you
my
change your race?
gosh.
No.
Why?
I could replay that time and time again. It's so good. And let's end on this, because my goodness, we need more women like this. Mom, obviously, the kid must have sent, maybe the one even recording this, coming from like a student table, probably sent this mother a picture of this rainbow freaking flag in their history class, covering the United States map, or a map behind it. Can we champion people like this? Can we follow in their footsteps on behalf of our children and our futures? Like, this isn't what's hateful. What we could really dive into what's hateful futuristically, but let's go ahead and play this.
We are paying you to teach history, and that's what you need to be teaching. I'm teaching my son to grow up to be a man, and I don't want you hanging a flag up for you to sit up there and teach them the type of stuff I'm trying to keep them away from.
Bless you, lady. Bless you. So she comes into this classroom, pulls this rainbow flag in the symbolism of, rainbow is such a beautiful thing, even biblically, right? Evil loves taking something beautiful and changing it to their evil, nefarious, just ruining good things, right? And I'm telling you, the root of that movement doesn't mean every individual is evil. No. But the root of the movement and that type of ideology is nothing shy of evil. And it's not based on any truths. Majority of those folks, you genuinely go through some things. You more than likely, like, you look into traumas, health, nutritional, parasitical, next thing you know, and you challenge yourself to walk in a life of not sin, like, you will be blessed and more happy, more at peace, more healthy as an individual than just weakly taking that pedestal, this false ideology, this toxic movement, and going with that. Anyway, so yeah, she rips it down, throws it right in the trash, and is like, no, we're paying you to teach history, not basically groom our children. Good for you, ma'am. Mad respect. Could I challenge more parents to get more involved in their classroom, like their children's classrooms, and what's in the libraries and what's being taught that belongs there and that doesn't belong there? Now, I know that was a lot. So at first we're covering a bit the health, and we're covering a bit as to what infiltration's happening from invasion, not just from our borders and actual illegal people entering illegally, but from the infiltration of our politics, the way that they're selling out. I mean, there's connections. I mean, the Kerry Lake, if you haven't heard that recording of how they were trying to bribe and control and manipulate and have her step down, we know there's all this corruption and infiltration, and we need to rule that out. We can't allow any corporation or evil entity to step in and have that negative impact. No, it's by we the people, right? So let's stand strong. Let's get our voices be heard. But anyway, so we got to focus on our health so we can effectively show up in these ways for our children, for the invasion, for everything else. Thank you for supporting us. I don't know how I'm going to really wrap this up. I feel like I could more clearly paint this for you all. I'm looking for more people to champion these conversations and sit in this chair over here. Please come join me. And from anything that is going to ensure better tomorrow or improve lives, or to just simply share your story, from the challenges to the successes to the failures. It's all important. Your story truly does matter, and it could have a very positive, and it would have a positive impact, I'm sure of it, on the listeners. Let's just take extra steps, because enough is enough. Let this be the year. I love you guys. Till next time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.